those of you who don't know me, I'm Christi Gillespie, former Vice Mayor of Broken Arrow until last November when I won my Senate seat. And I'm really, y'all are my people. So I love the city of Broken Arrow. Grew up here. Our daughter, she went K through 12 Broken Arrow schools, and my grandsons one of them is in kindergarten in Broken Arrow Public Schools. So we are, we want to create a community, quality of life, that our kids stay here. They want to raise their families and continue with that tradition, because, I don't want my kiddos moving out of town. I want them to stay here and be able to have a great quality of life. So if I was still on council right now and my own church was doing this proposed development, I would have voted no. So this has nothing to do with the specific place of assembly that is requesting the development. So I'm going to kind of go through some of the things I talked about at City Council meeting or at the Planning Commission meeting a few weeks ago, and I hope this helps you as you prepare to speak at City Council next week. So I'm going to start, and just as a little history, this is the next comprehensive plan. My name is in this comprehensive plan because I was on council when we approved it in 2019. So I dug it out of my closet, and it has sticky notes all over it again. So I'm a detail person, if y'all didn't know that already about me. So as I went through the comp plan, one of the things I noticed is, do y'all want me to give you specifics? Okay. Because I don't want to get into too much of the weeds if you don't want it, and if I'm boring you, just saying y'all move, just tell me to move on. So page 107 of the comp plan, it actually talks about a frontage road right along the Creek Turnpike. It actually shows it on both the north and the south sides of the Creek Turnpike between Aspen and Olive. Okay, that is actually been in the comp plan before 2019, but this comp plan started in 2019. So what that will do is it actually, if you think about it, it creates a place where not all the traffic is dumping out in one place. So this development, if it were to be approved, the way that the development is situated, it actually would block the ability to do a frontage road along the Creek Turnpike. So the Creek Turnpike was there whenever the people, the North American Islamic Trust, whenever they bought the land. So they knew very well that this was a commercial area when they bought the land. So now during Planning Commission, the chair said something to the effect of the council will never approve putting a bridge there over the floodplain, because there is floodplain there. That was not for him to say. He does not speak for City Council. And as a matter of fact, we did approve a bridge on the north side over the floodplain for the Innovation District when I was still on council. So for him to say that, he totally talked out of turn, and he doesn't get to speak for the City Council because that actually was already done like a quarter mile away on the other side of the Creek Turnpike. So page 107, it talks about the frontage road. This would actually go against the comprehensive plan because it would eliminate that. So that's one reason to vote no. And think about it too, going back to the frontage road, if we don't have it, this blocks any access to Olive from the east. So whatever developments happen to the east of this development, they would all have to dump out onto Tucson. So they wouldn't have the ability for connectivity to Olive that way. Second reason to vote no is in the comp plan, the proposed development area was intended to be only commercial. And I'm going to give you some page numbers in the comp plan that actually shows it shows a specific area and indicates it for commercial retail expansion. And think about it, when you exit off a turnpike or any expressway, you see gas stations. You see, when you're on an expressway, you're looking, if you're coming in from out of town, you're looking for something to pull you off the road so you can spend your money in that city. So, pages 63, page 65, page 67, page 80, page 306, page 311, page 312, page 314, page 315, page 318. There are 10 locations of the comprehensive plan that are specific mentions of this specific location for commercial retail expansion only. 10 times in the comprehensive plan. So when they said at Planning Commission that this did not go against the comprehensive plan, that absolutely is not true. These are specific areas where it goes against the comprehensive plan because their proposal, this 20,000 square feet, this measly little amount they're willing to give, this is a tiny little strip center, does not make up for what we would lose in sales tax revenue for the city. And for those of you that don't know, municipal governments run on sales tax. That is how, and a little bit of history about me too, for those of you that don't know, because maybe some of you don't know my history, but when I ran for city council, the whole reason that I ran for city council was all about revitalizing South Broken Arrow. And I don't know if you remember that. South BA looked a little bit different in 2019 than it did when I left city council last year. So I'm pretty proud of that, but economic development is something that's very important to me, but it also needs to be purposeful. It needs to be planned. It doesn't need to be willy-nilly. It needs to be high-paying jobs, and the things that we're bringing to South Broken Arrow are very important. And just because I'm not on city council anymore, I live, less than a mile from here. Just because I'm not on city council anymore doesn't mean that I'm not still engaged in this issue, because I actually, as a senator, I serve on the Economic Development, Workforce, and Tourism Committee at the state level. And so economic development in my Senate district is actually very important to me, and I want to work hard and continue to do that for the citizens of BA. So, okay, let me look. Anything else? Okay. So, third reason to vote no is because this would put too many non-sales tax earning places of assembly abutting each other. So, this location that we're in right now is a place of assembly. And so it is not earning sales tax for the city. And also this is actually tribal land as well, if y'all didn't know that. It's in trust. And then across the street, of course, where they're wanting to put the area, that would be another place of assembly if approved. And then just to the south is another non-sales tax earning place of assembly. So city councilors actually do have precedent of not approving places of assembly that are abutting each other. I can tell there are examples of that in New Orleans Square. There's actually quite a few examples of that during my time as a city councilor, where we voted against places of assembly. It's not just churches, because any event center is also called a place of assembly. So we have to be careful that it's not just about churches, it's the place of assembly, it's just not appropriate for that. So, the 20,000 square foot, does not, like I said before, doesn't offset the sales tax lost. So the fourth reason to vote no is because the Olive exit, which is right here, is actually the first gateway into our city whenever you're coming in on the Creek Turnpike. So what do we need? We need commercial along a frontage road. So, welcoming travelers to exit and spend their tax dollars here. And on the north side of the turnpike is where the Innovation District is going in. Whenever the comp plan was approved, that Innovation District was supposed to go someplace else. So actually, the density has even increased since the comp plan was approved, because the Innovation District is going in, and it's going to be more high-paying jobs. It's not necessarily all commercial. It's going to be a high-node employment center. So we need the commercial over on this side of the turnpike. Number 5, vote no, because there is a substantial floodplain area on this property, and y'all probably don't, well, there's no reason you would know this, but I know this. There's already unresolved stormwater issues between the Creek Turnpike and Tucson that need to be resolved. And we're dealing, I know the owners of Little Leagues are here, and there's some issues that we're already dealing with stormwater issues in that area. So that is the 5th reason to vote no. 6th reason to vote no, this is what I'm telling City Council, because there is no plan to widen Olive south of the Creek Turnpike for more than 10 years. And there's some reasons for that. When we do GO bonds, the general obligation bond, for the last year, the city has actually been holding very well attended meetings for citizens to come and give their input on what streets that they want widened. There's different areas, kind of buckets when you vote for a general obligation bond, which that'll be up for vote next spring. But this area, honestly, it's not in this street specifically out here between the creek and Olive. It's not on the list because it wasn't an area that people really were thinking about, mainly because there's not a lot of development happening over here yet. But think about what has happened in the last 6 years. I'm going to take you back there again. Okay? All of that expansion, we've got Home Depot and lots of things going in it just 1 mile from here at Aspen and Tucson. It will all move all move west toward, the edge of Broken Arrow. And this is where it'll happen. So that's another reason we need that frontage road so that we can get, because there will be traffic as those expansions happen. Because this land here is in trust, there are some unique things of getting right of way. I'll just say that. And, whenever you widen the road, you have to get right of way. And so that will be, every time we widen the road, there's a lot we go through as a city to get that right of way, because the city pays for that right of way. They don't go in and just take it. The city pays for it. The citizens, and I will say this, it's kind of my mantra, the city has the money, the government has the money, right? It's all your money. So those are the reasons, those are my 6 reasons that I'm going to tell City Council, or I'm going to implore to them that they vote against this, that they actually deny this. I would love it if they would actually make a motion to deny instead of waiting for the motion to approve, because I like voting yes on things. So make the motion to deny and then they can vote yes. And I did that a lot in my time as City Council. One thing I will suggest to you, and it actually works, I tried it today because I have my little paper here and I practice talking 3 minutes. It's impossible. This right here it was 5 minutes. So I copied and pasted this into ChatGPT and I said, please give me a 3-minute speech. And it did. It is the craziest thing. I was like, did it leave out something? I went through everything. It did not. So evidently I'm too wordy. I'm too talky. I was amazed. I went back through it and it was 2 minutes and 56 seconds. And I said the exact same thing. I'm like, what just happened? I don't even know. But it did work. So type it all up, put it in the ChatGPT, ask for 3-minute speech, and it will spit out something for you that's fabulous. And it's the same words. It's still my words. So I don't know what it cut out, but it cut out something. So are we waiting to take questions or?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to hang around. We're going to take questions.
Okay. I have